The possibility of World War III. Live stream. So live stream. Alright. Who's tuned in? Let's see, I haven't. Let's wait for people to tune in. Share it with someone. Alright. So we're actually going to be talking about a really, really serious topic. The possibility of World War III. Pretty much, if you clicked on this video, let's see who the first people to click on this video are. If I should start with some basic stuff, or if we're talking about experts, but pretty much World War III, the topic's been around for a long time, but I think the central thing of World War III, if we win at least, will be NATO, if it's conventional. Like, there are actually numerous reasons why it could be a conventional war instead of a nuclear war, which would make it more like World War I or World War II. That is, with the talks in North Korea, I don't think the North Korea thing will cause World War III yet, right now. Honestly, I don't know. That this is in January of 2018. I honestly think that it will cause less nuclear weapons to be made, and I think it will end in a treaty where North Korea will dump out its nuclear arsenal, and then the United States might follow along with Russia, China. It might be a massive deal between a lot of different countries to get rid of nuclear weapons. So, assuming that happens, and of course I have to assume, because, you know, we never know these days about history. Stuff could happen any day, so, like, something major could happen before this live stream even ends, but, yeah. If it does turn nuclear, well, if it's not North Korea, the world still might end. If it's not North Korea, pretty much the world will end. But if it is North Korea and they only launch one nuke out of Guam or Japan, it might not be the end of the world. I predict that there'd be kind of a second Korean War. I don't know if Russia or China doesn't support North Korea. I think it's unlikely India would, but if they support North Korea and decide not to use any nuclear weapons in the deal, or as part of a deal just like the Korean War that we've already had, the first one, then I think it'll be kind of similar, except for the United States will probably demand more participation from its allies. Let me rephrase that. The United States will demand participation from its allies, but that did happen in the first one. The United States actually has a lot of allies. I predict that it would be a battle between mainly NATO forces and Russia, and mainly China. And North Korea and South Korea would be big parts of it, of course. But I think that there probably would be more foreign troops on Korea than there would be native troops. Although that could change. I have to assume stuff since we don't really know. This is just a World War III talk. I really think it's unlikely that someone like Russia or China or United States to launch a preemptive strike on Russia, China, or the United States, if you know what I mean. But I think it'd have to be due to a misunderstanding of the United States policy and have to do with North Korea. Unless ISIS is involved. You know, we haven't really heard about ISIS in a while. They've been weakened, but they're definitely still there. You know, pretty much our number one fear about ISIS, especially everywhere, is that they could get a hold of nuclear weapons, and that would be bad if they did, but I still don't think it would lead to a world war, but to definitely a global crisis. See, hi Max. Alright.
We finished chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, you made chocolate chip cookies? That's nice, Max. Hey, can you go on the other end, please? I know, I'm allergic to dairy, Max. Bye.
I know that.
Alright, so. Max, go, go, go. Yeah, so if ISIS does somehow manage to get a hold of a nuclear weapon, I think the most likely strike would either be Turkey or Italy, because geographically those are pretty close, and if ISIS got a hold of a nuclear weapon just laying around, I doubt it would be a very high quality one, but it would still be one nonetheless, even though that's unlikely. Um, I believe ISIS's main goal, or at least one of their biggest goals, is to someday take over Rome. A lot of people think it's to take over Washington, D.C. or London or something, but no, it's actually Rome. It's an interesting research. I researched it. Max, go away. Really, Turkey is one of their main rivals. They've donated a lot to the Syrian resistance, or enemies of them. They're, a lot would happen with Turkey in almost any World War III scenario. They're a really interesting country. Their political position is also really fascinating. I'd highly recommend researching it if you're into that. So, sorry. No, but I'm serious. Turkey would have a really important political importance in any World War III scenario, but especially if it has to do with ISIS accidentally getting control of a nuclear weapon, or purposefully, but them pirating a weapon. I think that they'd either try to strike Rome or Turkey. If that happens, I don't think it would cause World War III, unless it's against ISIS completely, because ISIS doesn't really have any allies in a specific government. Even countries like that, people sometimes in America might associate that support ISIS, I actually don't. Like Pakistan and Iran are actually enemies of ISIS. They donated to enemies of ISIS. Uh, that's a different boat for the terror thing. I'm gonna demonetize. Max, go away. I'm absolutely serious. Alright, yeah, so. Where was I? Oh, yeah. That's a different topic. That if this live stream is successful, I'll do it on that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I promise. I'm just someone who likes researching this types of stuff and wanting to have a discussion. Pause.
James, you have to do your math or you're late or something.
I am doing homework.
Okay, but you're talking on the thing too. I don't want you to talk on that till you're done.
So I did do my homework on this topic, alright? So figured it would. Yeah, it'd mainly just be a war against ISIS, probably involving a lot of nations with ground troops. I don't think China would send in ground troops, but Russia likely would. Yeah, it might be World War III by the definition that it include most of the world, but By that definition, the war on terror already is, but yeah. So, I'm gonna check the news right now. Be a reliable source. Computer. It's January 2018, if you didn't know, by the way. No viewers. It's okay. Maybe this will get some viewers afterwards, so probably make a part 2. I don't want to go on Steam. Give me your rundown on our current situation on World War III. Alright, finally a viewer. Matthew, I guess I just kind of rambled on for a little bit, but our current situation is unlikely. But if World War III were to happen, probably in the way you're thinking, with nukes and stuff, I think that North Korea would launch some. Honestly, I don't think it will happen, but if World War III or scenario with North Korea did happen, it would likely be they'd drop a nuclear bomb on Tokyo or someplace in Japan or Seoul or Guam. So, I think that would cause another invasion in North Korea, similarly to the Korean War that already happened. And I think that it would cause Korea to become united, kind of like Germany is right now. Probably have some socialist characteristics, but they'd definitely be united and most likely be friendly to the United States. Yeah. They'd become a big economy, kind of similar to Japan, but militarized, likely. Imagine an Asian Germany. You'd be like an Asian France or Britain. Not like a Japan, or like a Japan with a military. Which would be a good president. If we did not want World War III, if we want World War III to happen, yes. If we don't want World War III to happen, no, probably. But it's more that he's just impulsive, and the most likely thing that World War III happened with North Korea is if they misinterpret or interpret a mess like a tweet or something too much. Because I don't think they really grasp what the tweet things mean. As for during the war, I think you kind of. Hold on. Yeah, I'm having the news and the other thing while drawing comics. I want to make this into a comic channel sometime. Like a Danger Doll animated thing. Yeah, but I'm having the news. I'm refreshing it. You want social? Nah. I mean, socialism works for some countries, but not all countries. Usually, the smaller the country is, the more it works. I think America might be too diverse or populated for socialism to work, but I think there are characteristics of socialism that I think we could really use and would be beneficial, but not pure socialism. I think we just had to be smart about it. Shock, earthquake warning. What? Yeah, so that news story pretty much covers exactly what it is. One wrong move, sold. Biologic anthrax. I hope these are reliable news sources. I don't think the Express is reliable, but Daily Star maybe. North. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that last one. I'll look it up. Show. You know what? Can you send that thing again? I'm sorry, I didn't see the last one you said. Fixing the camera. Would LA be nuked? Probably not. Maybe. To be honest, I don't think a North Korean missile could really fly that far without crashing. And if it could reach California, I think it would go for San Francisco. Even though San Francisco is less populated, believe it or not, internationally it's more iconic. Except for maybe Hollywood, actually. Maybe. I'd be more worried if I lived in Guam or Hawaii. What? I can't get this camera to work correctly. Hold on. Yay. Alright, so I'm looking up news, North Korea's. Also going to be reviewing some news articles on that too. Alright, Russia war games. Thousands of troops simulate attack in huge drills. Yeah, sounds like something Russia would do. Yeah, Vladimir's, good old Vlad's Baltic fleet holds massive military drill. Definitely something Russia would do. Will Russia prepare for battle? Yeah, I don't know if Russia will try to start World War III, but if it did, it'd probably be somewhere near Estonia. Russia has simulated going to war against NATO and bombing Germany. They do that. Yeah, to be honest, I kind of looks like me. That looks to me like a rehearsal of an attack, General Curtis Scarpani. Yeah, it kind of does. I'm gonna point the cam. Alright. So, looks to me like this could be an attack. It looks to me like a rehearsal of an attack. Hold on. Pranksters set pal's hair on fire in hilarious clip. What happened? What is it? Oh, wow. Hold on. Alright, so I have some bad news live. I just heard about this. So there's been a mass shooting in New York. I just heard about that. It's not sad. I don't know if that's reliable because I didn't hear about it, but yeah, so something might have happened in New York, but I don't think it's related to World War III. Was it a mass shooting from a few months ago? No, it's from the 11th, which I think is yesterday. Is it? Oh, today. No, actually, the 11th is today. So yeah. Sadly, there's been a mass shooting, and oh, yeah, another thing in England, some people associated with ISIS smashed um, gravestones of British soldiers, thanks to war heroes. ISIS thugs smashed the gravestones of British war heroes who died during World War I and World War II. You know, it's sad. So, anyways, World War III talk. Alright, well, thank you for checking. I think that might have been clickbait. When you search the web for stuff about World War III, a lot of it is clickbait, and it's kind of hard to find reliable information, but thank you for fact checking that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go soon, but there'll probably be a part 2 as more news comes out.
Hey, you have to put this away because your mom is.
What is the most reliable news source? It's a hard one. I'd say the Washington Post is pretty reliable. Bye.
Hey, your mom is